All right, welcome back to another game of Precision Baseball. My name is Brian Hafferkamp. I'm the designer and creator of this baseball game. In this game, we're going to run another test game. This is the 2022 Orioles at Boston, so at Fenway Park. And let's get right into it. If you want a little bit of a recap, there's a video on the channel sort of walking through how to play and some of the components and things like that. In this game, I'm going to play not with the online dice roller, but I'm going to play with actual dice. So we'll see how this goes. It might be a little bit slower because you just have to read the dice, and the dice are all over the place. They're not in line like they are in the roller, so maybe not quite as fast, but it will give you a good sense of what the game is about. We have our Baltimore ready to go. It's going to be Nick Pivetta pitching for the Red Sox. And let's go through the lineups. It's Mateo at short for the Orioles. Mullins is batting second, playing center. Adley Rutschman is the catcher. Mountcastle is hitting fourth. He's the first baseman. Santander is the right fielder. Mancini is the DH. Urias is playing third and batting seventh. Austin Hayes will be in left. He is batting eighth, and Odor is the second baseman. He's batting ninth. Going for the Orioles is going to be Kyle Bradish, a young right-handed pitcher. And for the Red Sox, it'll be Kike Hernandez in center, Bogarts at short, Devers at third. JD Martinez is the DH. He's batting cleanup. Alex Verdugo is hitting fifth in left. Trevor Story is the second baseman. He's hitting sixth. Bobby Dahlbeck is the first baseman. Christian Vasquez is the catcher. He's hitting eighth, and I put Tommy Pham in to right field. So he's not I don't think the typical right fielder. These are my lineups, just as I look at the cards and I think about where everybody might fit. I sort of know my 2, 3, 4, and so I kind of build my lineup around those guys. Just having followed baseball the last couple of years and watching the Braves play. They played the AL East last year, and they played a little bit this year too. So I've actually had a chance to see the Orioles play quite a bit, 6 games or so, and have actually watched their offense some. So a little bit familiar with these teams, more so than others. So I built the lineups myself. Over here I have the player finder and all of my charts, and so we'll be referencing those at the appropriate time. So let's go ahead and get this one started. It's going to be Jorge Mateo, shortstop, leading off. And again, I'm reading red and then white and then blue. So this is the decider die. 1 to 3 goes to the batter. 4 to 6 goes to the pitcher. That's going to go to the pitcher card, which is Pivetta, and it's going to be a 589. 589 is going to be a strikeout. So Pivetta gets the K. That's going to be out number 1. Brings up Seth Mullins. He is a left-handed batter. And it's going to be an 896 off of Mullins' card, and that's going to be a solid single as Mullins gets on with 1 out, and he's standing at first base. Mullins is a 2-base stealer. You can check out Vasquez, sorry. So Christian Vasquez has a +3 in the stealing, which means he's really good at throwing out base runners or controlling the stolen base game. So a +3 is actually going to be a -3 to here. So that's going to drop Mullins to a -1. And if we're stealing, you can see we have our stolen bases and a -1, 200 to 700, that's a 50% range or so. Gonna hold off with the big hitters for now. Maybe in a key situation it will be good, but that +3 as a catcher is going to really control the running game. Eventually I'm going to have pitcher stolen base numbers as well for fielding, so that it just it's called RSB, which just stands for R is whatever rating service was doing it, but stolen bases is controlling the running game. So for a pitcher, that's controlling the running game through, you know, lookovers and the way that they control the running game as a pitcher. But as a catcher, it's, you know, obviously throwing down to second and stuff like that. So man at first, Adley Rutschman is up. And let's see what happens here. This is going to be to the pitcher card. That is a 239. 239 is going to be a fly ball. And the fly ball is going to go to we don't really need to roll them all, but we will anyway. So a 9-10, the fly ball goes out to right field. So we're going to call that out number 2. Let's see if there's any sort of advancement from the runner. We have our advancement chart here, fly ball to right. We really only need to roll these 3 again. So 785, fly ball to right field with the runner on first. There's no opportunity for advancement. Sometimes if you hit a green, that means they have to go, and you have to challenge the arm of the fielder and try to tag up. Yellow means it's the gamer's prerogative. Red means you cannot go, even if you wanted to. So 2 down, runner at first base. Ryan Mountcastle is the batter. This is going to be a 257 off of Mountcastle's card. That's another fly ball. It goes to 909. 909 is again to the right fielder, so a couple of flyouts to right, and that's going to end the inning. So Baltimore gets 1 runner on, but can't get him around, and that's going to take us to the bottom of the first inning. No score here in Boston, and the Red Sox get their first crack at the young pitcher, Kyle Bradish. Let's see. I don't have anybody on there, so it's safe to put there. Make things a little bit easier. Okay. All right, it's Kike Hernandez, Xander Bogaerts, and Rafael Devers. Hernandez, the right-hander, against Bradish, the right-hander. This comes off the pitcher card. That's going to be a 506. 506 is going to be a strikeout. So Hernandez goes down with the first out of the inning. 1 down, then Xander Bogaerts stands in. Right-handed batter, shortstop for the Red Sox last year. This goes to the batter card, 856. For Bogaerts, that is going to be a base knock. So Bogaerts is aboard with a single, and he's standing at first. Let's check out the... I know Rutschman is a very good defensive player, so good on the defense, but his stolen base number is 0, so just average at controlling the running game. So we can look at Bogaerts, who is not a good stealer of bases necessarily. I mean, he's fast enough, but so the run number has to do with running like first to third, or taking extra bases, that sort of thing, tagging up. And then stealing has to do specifically with stealing, and then grounded into double plays has to do specifically with, you know, does a player ground into double plays. If we look at our stealing chart, 0 is better than the -1 that we saw. Let's go ahead and try to steal second. He's got quite a few more opportunities here, and we'll just roll our 3 dice, and then we'll check the chart. The roll is a 337, and on a 0, a 337 is in the green. That means he's safe, so just in there ahead of the throw. And Bogarts will be at second with 1 out. Brings up Rafael Devers. This goes to the batter card. It's a 701. Devers is here. A 701 is going to be a walk. And so that's going to put runners at first and second for JD Martinez, the DH. 371. 371 for him is going to be a line drive. And let's see where that goes. So line drive to 394 is going to be a liner to left. So we can just go ahead and mark that down. A line drive out to left. So that's out number 2. Let's see if there's any sort of runner advancement here. We have a chart specifically for line drives. And you can see to our left fielder, we have runners at first and second. So this is our column. And really, there's no green here, so I'm not going to roll against that because I'm not going to send any of these guys. So I'll just go ahead and make that call here. So 2 down with 2 on, and Alex Verdugo to the plates. This is off the pitcher card. It's a 232. 232 off of Bradish's card is going to be a fly ball. That's a fly ball to 441. That's just left field. So Verdugo takes it the other way. But that's going to be the 3rd out of the inning as Boston strands 2 in the bottom of the 1st. Can't bring him around. So we're tied at 0 as we head to the top of the 2nd inning. I'm just making sure everything is on camera. And Pivetta is going to face off against the bottom of the order. Middle of the order. Santander, Mancini, and Urias. Santander, a switch hitter, hitting left-handed against Nick Pivetta. This will be off Pivetta's card, so 653 is going to be a strikeout. So he begins the 2nd inning like he did the 1st. He has 2 Ks on the day for Nick Pivetta. Brings up Trey Mancini, the right-handed DH. 365 off of Mancini's card. So 365 is going to be a line drive. Let's see where that goes to. Line drive to 442 is going to be a liner to left. And that'll be out number 2. Sorry about that. And when you think about the line drives, don't think about it as like a rocket line drive to left. It's just about trajectory. So a line drive is within a trajectory range, and a fly ball is sort of higher than that, and a ground ball is lower than that, right? So just trying to think about not necessarily like a straight line drive that's supposed to come in and make a play on all the time. You're going to see a lot of line drive outs to the outfield. And they're not necessarily like spectacular catches. People are running in hard to make a catch on, although that might be the case. That's really up to your imagination more than anything, but a line drive is just a range of heights for the ball to go. You can look up more of that online about what a line drive is in sabermetric world. 377. This is going to the batter's card. This is Urias. 377 is going to be a fly ball. So that fly ball goes to 161, and that will be a pop-up to the 2nd baseman. So out in the short right field grass, the 2nd baseman makes the play. That's going to be Story. And Baltimore goes down 1-2-3 in the top of the 2nd. Good inning for Pivetta. Still no score as we head to the bottom of the 2nd. Bradish facing off against the middle bottom of the order. It'll be Story, Dahlbeck, and Vasquez. $7.16. That comes off of the batter card. So we go to Trevor Story's card. And we have a 7-16, and that's going to be a walk. So Trevor Story takes the walk. He is actually a steal of +2. Rutschman is a 0. So we're going to go ahead and try to steal second base with Trevor Story. Let's see if he gets in there. So you can see we moved up a column, and that improves our chances significantly. A 230 is going to be in there. That's just inside the green. Woo, pretty close. So he slides in safely with a stolen base. So you can see stolen base is not particularly difficult in this game, and not hard to figure out, the difference. How does a catcher affect the stolen bases? So just some basic math, not too difficult. Bobby Dahlbeck, right-handed first baseman. This comes off the pitcher card. This is a 503 off of Bradish's card, and he gets a strikeout for out number 1. The second strikeout of the day for Kyle Bradish. Brings up Christian Vasquez, catcher. See if he can bring him home. This is a 593, and he also is going to get the strikeout. So back-to-back Ks now for Kyle Bradish as he tries to get out of this second inning jam. We have to the batter card, it's going to be Tommy Pham, a 0-61. A 61 is going to be a ground ball. Let's see how this ground ball turns out. It's a 9-12, so that goes to the third baseman. And even with 2 outs, I want to consult my chart here. This is third base, third baseman, and we'll see if it winds up in all safe. That's really the only thing I'm checking for. So 963 is going to be here. That's a 5-3 put out, and that will end the inning as Devers goes across the diamond. I'm sorry, it's Urias goes across the diamond for the third out. So Boston strands another runner in scoring position, and we head to the top of the third, still tied at 0. All right, Nick Pivetta will be facing off against Austin Hayes, Odor, and Mateo. Back to the top of the order. 648. This is off the pitcher card. 648 is going to be another strikeout. Pivetta doing a good job getting the first man of the inning, as he has retired the first batter of each inning with a strikeout. And that brings up the 9th place hitter, Odor, the second baseman. This is a 449, and .449 to Odor is a line drive, and that's going to go to 131. So that'd be a liner to third base. Good reaction there from Rafael Devers as he picks that one out of the air, and that's going to be out number 2. Back to the top of the order with Mateo. Mateo struck out in his first at bat. This is a 22 off of the batter card. I can tell you from experience that is going to be a ground ball. So typically anything that's under 100 is going to be a ground ball. It goes to 91. 91 is going to be a grounder to first base. So a little flip to the pitcher covering, and that's going to be a 3-3 down inning for Nick Pivetta, who is pitching very well so far. He's only given up 1 hit in his first 3 innings. Still no scores. We head to the bottom of the third. Kyle Bradish will be facing off against the top of the order, as it'll be Hernandez, Bogarts, and Devers. Hernandez struck out in his first at bat. He's not going to strike out here. A 934 is, let's get to the right page. 934 for Hernandez is going to be a double, as he laces one down the left field line. That's going to be a 2-bagger. for Kike. And that puts him at second base for Devers. Devers 1 for 1 with a single in his first at bat. This comes off the pitcher card. This is going to be an 18. 18 is going to be a grounder. So let's see where the ground ball goes, and then we'll figure out what happens on the play. 553 is a ground ball to short. Alright, so we got our plays here. We have a runner at second base and shortstop. So this is our column here. 766 with a runner at second base. That's going to be here. So that's a 6-3 put out, and the arrow to the left means that the runner holds. Arrow to the right means the runner advances. Arrow to the left means that the base runner holds. So that's going to be a ground out to the shortstop. Looks the runner back at second. Gets it over to first for out number 1. So runner still at second base now with 1 out. Rafael Devers to the plate. Devers hitting left-handed. And this is going to be a 536 off of his card. 536 is going to be a strikeout. Second out of the inning. That's the 4th K of the day for Kyle Bradish. And he is... Boston's in danger of stranding yet another runner at second base. Let's see if Bradish can get out of this. This is a 774 off of his card. That's going to be a walk. Oh, I'm sorry. That's a wild pitch. So that's going to advance the runner to third. And we roll again. Runner at third base now with 2 outs. And that's going to be off the pitcher card a 245. 245 is a fly ball. Let's see what happens here. Fly ball goes to 206, and that'll be a pop-up to third base. So the third baseman, Urias, is under it, and Bradish weasels out of another one as Boston keeps putting runners in scoring position, but they just can't score them. That has been the name of the game so far for this one. Probably should be 2 or 3 to nothing, but just can't come up with a big hit whenever they need it. And Bradish is bearing down really well in this one. So we head to the top of the 4th, and it is no score. Top of the order for the Orioles: Mullins, Rutschman, and Mountcastle against Nick Pivetta. Pivetta pitching very well up to this point. This comes off the pitcher card. It's a 561. That's going to be a strikeout for Nick, who continues his streak of striking out the first batter of each inning. So quite a story from him. That first out is so key, though. So that's going to keep you in the ball game for a long time. A 184. This goes to the batter card. This is Rutschman. 184 is going to be a fly ball. And that fly ball goes to 560, which is going to be the center fielder. So a little pop out to the center fielder. Not a difficult play. Can of corn. And brings up Ryan Mountcastle. Mountcastle flied out to right in his first at bat. This is a 322 to the pitcher card. That's going to be another fly ball. This time it goes to 20. 20 is going to be a pop-up to the catcher. So throws off his mask. It's prepared for it, and Vasquez puts it away for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down again goes Baltimore in the top of the 4th. Pivetta cruising in this one, giving up only 1 hit so far. And that takes us to the bottom of the 4th. It's going to be Verdugo, Story, and Dahlbeck. The story of this game is Bradish's ability to get out of trouble. Had multiple base runners most of the innings, and has been able to get out of this so far with no score. A 485. 45 is going to be a strikeout. So Bradish with the K. I believe that's number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the day for Kyle Bradish. Future looking very bright for Baltimore. This will be off the hitter card. It's a 400 to Trevor Story. Trevor Story, a 400 is going to be a strikeout. So back-to-back Ks. Strikeout number 6 for Kyle Bradish in the first 4 innings. This could be trouble. This is a 927 off of the batter card. The batter is Bobby Dahlbeck. 927 is going to be a base knock. So 2-out hit for Dahlbeck as he sends that one to left field. And that's going to bring up Christian Vasquez. Vasquez struck out his first time up. He is going to ground out in this one as it comes off Bradish's card. A 90. I'm sorry, that was a 190, which is a ground ball. Yeah. A ground ball to 596. That'll be a grounder to short. And let's see what happens on our play. We've got a runner at first base. And our roll is a 518. Shortstop, runner at first, 518 is here. And it says with 2 outs, it's a 6-3 put out. So throw over to first, gets the runner in time. And that takes us to the top of the 5th inning. Still no score. Good one here. Good pitching matchup. And let's see if the bats can get going in the back half of this game. First up is going to be Santander. A 476 to the batter is going to be a line drive. And that line drive goes to 887. That's going to be a liner to right. And Santander goes down for the first out of the inning. For the first time in the game, Nick Pivetta did not strike out the first batter of the inning. But he might here. 413 to the pitcher is going to be another line drive. So this one hit hard and hit to the center fielder. So this is a line out to center. That's going to be 2 down in the inning. 2 quick outs for Pivetta. Brings up Urias. And this will be a 119. 119, that's to the batter. That's a ground ball. And a 775. It's a grounder to the third baseman. Up with it is Devers. He'll make the throw across, and that takes us to the end. You know, well, I really messed these things up. I forgot I was playing with the, let me go ahead and fix the score sheet here. All right, we're back. Made a mess of my score sheet here. I forgot I was using the, these are at-bats. So you sort of go all the way down, and then all the way down. It's not by innings, so. My mistake. And we are headed to the bottom of the 4th inning, I believe. Yep, we had 3 outs here. Headed to the bottom of the 4th, and it's going to be, or the bottom of the 5th inning. One, two, three, four. Okay, yeah. So it'll be Tommy Pham, and then back to the top of the order with Kike Hernandez and Bogarts. Still facing Bradish. 551 off of the batter card is Tommy Pham. 551 is going to be a strikeout. And that brings us back to the top of the order with Hernandez. Hernandez 1 for 2 with a double in this one. He was stranded at third base back in the 3rd inning. This off the pitcher, a 740. 740 is going to be a walk. So Hernandez on now with 1 out. Not a real threat to steal. This is going to be trouble on 945. That's going to be a hit off of Bradish's card. So let's see what happens with the hit. This is Bogarts. A 717 for Bogarts is going to be a double as he laces one into right center field past the center fielder. So we're going to call this a 2-bagger. That's going to push Hernandez to third base, and his running is a 2. His base running is a 2, so he's in this next to highest column. And we can try to look at Mullins. Mullins' arm is a 1, so that brings him down. That would bring him down to a. That will bring him down to a 1. So same thing, whether he's a 2 or a 1, he's in the same column. Let's try to score him from third. Anything low, particularly low or high, he's going to be thrown out at the plate, but otherwise he should make it in. This is going to be a 684. 684 is here in the medium middle, and that's green. That means he is going to make it in the extra base. So he comes around from first on the double, and that's going to be an RBI. First run of the game for either team. Still working out some things. Is that the best way to do that? But seems like a fine way to do it at this point. Definitely want to take the extra bases, right, whenever you get a chance to do it, and how you work that out. You know, it seems like the outfielder's arm would have something to do with the relay. So to me, that just kind of makes sense that you would include his arm, even though he's not directly throwing out the runner per se. Okay, Rafael Devers against Bradish, a 237. 237 is going to be a fly ball off of the pitcher. And we have a runner at second base, and this is going to be a fly ball to 999, which is actually a pop-up to the pitcher. So we're going to say pop-up to 1. And obviously that is not going to move anyone, so that's going to be out number 1. And we still have a runner at second base. Oh, I'm sorry, that's out number 2. We had a strikeout here. So 2 down, runner at second base. Base hit scores a run, and this is probably not going to get it done. This is a 400 off of the batter. The batter is JD Martinez. A 400 is going to be a line drive. That line drive goes to 878, which is a liner to right field. And that's going to be caught for the third out. So we end the inning, but Boston does get 1, and they take the 1-0 lead in the 5th inning. Let's see if the Orioles have an answer. Not sure. We'll check our batters here. We're at 16 batters for Pivetta, and 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 batters for Bradish. He could come out for 1 more inning, and then after that we're going to have to look to make a replacement. So Pivetta faces off on the top in the top of the 6th. With the bottom of the order, it's Austin Hayes, and then Odor, and then back to Mateo at the top. So for Hayes here, this is off the batter card of 560. 560 is going to be a strikeout. Pivetta Consistent, if nothing, striking out the first man of every inning. So another K. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strikeouts in 6 innings for Nick Pivetta. 1 down, and that brings up Odor to the plate. Odor lined out to the third baseman his last time up. This is off the pitcher card. It's a 319. 319 is going to be a fly ball. That's hit to high to right field. It's going to stay in the park and out in right field. Who is that? Tommy Pham makes the play. That's going to be out number 2. So 2 quick ones for Nick Pivetta, and we go back to Jorge Mateo at the top of the order. Mateo, the shortstop. We have off the batter card. This is a 106. That's going to be a grounder, and that grounder goes to 862. That's going to be a ground ball. Hard grounder to third base, but Devers is up with it over to first, and that is going to be the third out of the inning. So that's it in the top of the 6th inning as Pivetta, another 1-2-3 inning against the Orioles. The Orioles just can't get anything going against this Boston pitching staff. And got Kyle Bradish. We'll leave him on the mound. He's going to be facing off against Verdugo, Story, and Bobby Dahlbeck. Tough one here, 916. This is off the batter card. This is Alex Verdugo. 916 is going to be a single. So base knock for Verdugo. Verdugo not a great stolen base threat. So we will let Story hit away. This is off the pitcher card. This is a 296. 296 is going to be a fly ball. Fly ball to 508. That's a fly to center field. So we'll go F8 on the put out. And let's see if there's any sort of advancement to center fielder. So we're looking here at column 1. There's a chance for an automatic go, so I want to make sure I roll for that. So 159 is here, and that's a red. So that's a no-go. So the runner's going to hold at first base. 1 down with Bobby Dahlbeck to the plate. 317 off of his card. 317 is going to be a line drive. And that line drive is to 736. That'll be a liner to center field. Catch is made. And let's see. It's going to be my choice here. I'm not going to send the runner to second base. He just doesn't run very well. Verdugo is a 0, just the average runner. I'm not going to try to send him there. So let's see if Christian, help if I roll all of them. See if Christian Vasquez comes up with a big hit, 364 off of his card. 364 is going to be a fly ball. Fly ball is out to 478. I don't think I've set it yet, but on that roll right there to determine where the ball goes to which fielder, if that's a 3 of a kind, then that's an error on whoever the fielder is. 478 is a fly ball to left field. Third out of the inning. The Red Sox strand a runner at first base after the leadoff single. And we head to the top of the 7th inning. Still no score. Tight one in this one. And it's going to be Nick Pivetta going out. He's at 19 batters, so pitching very well. And he's in control of the game so far. Let's see if it stays that way. Sed Mullins is going to be up. He's 1 for 2 with a strikeout and a single. This is a 587 to his card, and that's going to be another strikeout. Pivetta. That is the game storyline, is Pivetta getting a strikeout at the beginning of every inning. Brings up Adley Rutschman. This is off the pitcher card. This is going to be a 58. 58's a ground ball. Yeah, it's a sharp grounder. to second base. Over to first with it is the second baseman Story, and that's going to be out number 2. A couple quick ones there. Ryan Mountcastle up. He popped out to the catcher his last time at bat. This time it's a 726. 726 for Mountcastle is going to be a walk, as he draws a 2-out base on balls and brings up the dangerous Santander, lined out to right field in his first at bat. This is a 300 off of Pavetta's card, so a fly ball lifted to 256. That's going to be popped up actually to the shortstop, so we're going to go P6. So short left field. The shortstop makes the play. That is Bogaerts. Squeezes it for out number 3, and Boston is out of the 7th. Still no scoring for Baltimore. Pavetta doing a tremendous job on the mound. And we're going to have to get a new pitcher here. Let me bring in a reliever. All right, the new pitcher for the Orioles is going to be Brian Baker, right-handed reliever. That closes the book on Kyle Bradish. Bradish on the hook right now for the loss. 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, 3 walks, and 7 Ks. So solid start for him. Just not being backed up. Pavetta's just been much better. If you can get too much better than that. All right, so this is going to be the bottom of the order. Tommy Pham, and then back to Hernandez and Bogaerts. So Baker to Pham. This is going to be an 890 to Tommy Pham. That'll be a base hit, as he is greeted rudely with a base knock. Tommy Pham standing at first. And it's going to bring up Kike Hernandez. This will be off the pitcher card. So we're looking at you, Baker. 667 is a strikeout. So he strikes out Hernandez for out number 1. Hernandez now 2 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Or 1 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. This is going to be a 630. 630 to the batter. The batter is Xander Bogaerts. 630 is a walk. So Bogaerts takes a walk, and that's going to put runners at first and second base with 1 out. Chance to do damage here for Rafael Devers. 754 to Devers. 754 is going to be another base hit. Devers now 1 for 3. And that's going to push all of our base runners. Tommy Pham runs at a pretty good clip. His running is a 3. We're going to try to score Pham from second. See if we can build a little bit of a cushion here. The base hit goes to center field. How do I know that? I'm using this as a directional die. So 1 is down the left field line, 6 down the right field line, and then 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to use that as a directional die for my base hits. So it's a base hit to left center. The center fielder is Mullins. His arm is a +1. So we need to drop Tommy Pham down to a 2. And that puts him in the same category here. So let's see if he makes it. Tommy Pham rounding third. 581 is going to be safe as he comes home safely. The throw is late. And he comes around on the single. That's going to be an RBI single for Rafael Devers. And the lead is now 2-0 Boston over Baltimore as they extend here in the 7th. We have JD Martinez up. This goes off the pitcher card, a 718. 718 will be a walk. And things not looking so good. As the bases are loaded with 1 out, still hoping and praying for that magical ground ball. I'm not going to get it here. A 933 to Verdugo. 933 is going to be a double, as that is a killer. So we get a double off of the bat of Verdugo. That's going to score 1, 2, and Martinez will hold at third. And the big blow there, that's a 2 RBI double. The lead is now 4-0 Boston. And we got to get this guy out of here. Baker is not doing anything worthwhile, so let's I don't know, Dylan Tate maybe? I don't know. I don't know who the I'm not really sure who the pitchers are that I should be bringing in for the Orioles. So we're going to get a new pitcher here, and just make that more pronounced. We're almost getting past the log jam here on our score sheet. So runners at second and third, 1 out, and we're going to be bringing in Dylan Tate. So we'll go 0.1 innings, gives up 1, 2, 3 hits. Don't know how many runs yet, at least 3. And 2 walks, 1 K. Not a great outing there from Mr. Baker. So Dylan Tate trying to stop the bleeding. This is going to go off the batter card. This is a 299. 299 is Trevor Story. 299 is going to be a fly ball. Fly ball to 617. That is to center field. So we're going to call that an F8. That's out number 2. And let's see if there's any tag up on that. So fly ball to center field, runners at second and third. We have a 036 that's here. So it's telling me that I have to run home. So we've got Sed Mullins, who is a +1. And we've got JD Martinez at third base, who runs at a -4. So he's running at a -5. And third base coach is sending him. This could be interesting. So -5 is here. And he's got, you know, what is that? Almost a 50% chance of scoring. So we'll see how it goes. JD Martinez barreling home. 439 is going to be in there, and he's safe. Third base coach knows what he's doing. So that's going to be a sacrifice fly. And that will be an RBI and a sac fly. So Trevor Story gets it just far enough to get the not fleet-footed JD Martinez home. Just beats the throw. And we now have a 5-0 game. Boston's put up 4 here in the 7th inning. A 565 that goes to the batter. This is going to be Bobby Dahlbeck. 565 is going to be a strikeout as Dahlbeck goes down for the 3rd out, but not before Boston does damage. 1, 2, 3, 4 runs, and we are going to charge. So he gets charged with 1, 2, 3. He gets charged with all 4. Baker does. So he's gonna take the lumps on that one. So we head to the top of the 8th inning. Who do we have? We still have Nick Pivetta He can go 23. That's 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Let's send him out for one more inning. And then let's see, bring somebody in to shut it down in the 9th. Or at least that's how Alex Cora wants to play it. Or whoever the manager was. I think it was him last year. Okay, so in the top of the 8th inning, got Mancini, Urias, and Hayes facing Nick Pivetta. 475. That's going to be another strikeout. Surprise, surprise. First batter of the inning is a strikeout. Urias, that is a 250 to the pitcher. 250 to the pitcher is going to be a fly out. That's a fly ball hit out to, actually it's popped up to the catcher. That's a 044. So it'll be a pop up to the catcher. And it is Vasquez throwing off his mask, and he makes the catch for out number 2. Brings up Austin Hayes, left fielder. Still nothing going here. That's a 094 off Hayes' card. That's going to be a ground ball. And that will be a 161. 161 is a little chopper to second base. Up with it is Trevor Story, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. 1, 2, 3. Another good inning for Nick Pivetta. As he goes 8 in this one, he'll give way to a relief pitcher in the 9th inning. And we're going to bring Dylan Tate out again. See if he can get through this bottom of the 8th unscathed. It's going to be Vasquez, Pham, and Hernandez against the right-hander Tate. Tate's only faced a couple of batters, so fits within our stamina just fine. This is going to be to the batter. It's a 008. The batter is Vasquez. That's going to be a ground ball. 214, so that's a grounder to the second baseman. Over to first for out number 1. 1 down in the bottom of the 8th inning. 5-0 our score, Boston over Baltimore. This comes off the pitcher card. It's a 465 off of Tate. A 465 is going to be a line drive. So hit hard, but right at the left fielder. So we'll go L7 on the putout, and that's out number 2. Brings up Kike Hernandez. Hernandez is 1 for 3. It does have a double and a walk. So this is going to be a 793. Could be another base hit for him. Let's see. 793 is going to be a hit by pitch. So he's got a 792 to 798 for a hit by pitch. So he gets plunked. Obviously not intentionally, but he does get on base for a 3rd time in this one. Brings up Xander Bogaerts. Bogaerts with a double and a single in this one. 886. 886 is going to be a base hit off of Tate. And for Bogaerts, that's a 177 base hit. So off of the pitcher card, if it's a base hit, then we come to this black box here. It's kind of a gray background. Can't see that very well, I don't think, on the screen, but it's a little gray background, and then basically you read across this way. So singles, doubles, triples, hits, or home runs. So after you roll again, and then you get your hit number. This is a 177, so that's a 1 to 690. That's going to be a base hit to right field. And let's see. It's going to move the runner to second. We could try to take an extra base if we wanted to. Hernandez is a +2 running. And the right fielder, Santander, is a 0 arm. So basically you would be running on a 0, which is here. With a 5-0 lead, there's no need to do that. If you were a faster runner, maybe. But got Devers up, 2 down and 2 on. So base hit is going to score 1. A 426, that's off of Devers' card. A 426 is going to be a line drive. That liner goes to 826, which is going to be a liner to right. Santander makes the play, and Boston strands 2 more in scoring position. We head to the top of the 9th inning. Going to bring in a new pitcher for Boston, and let's see who we can bring in. How about Ryan Brazier? So we bring in Brazier. He is a right-hander. And that's going to do it for Pivetta. That's 8 innings. He gives up one hit, no runs. It's going to be 1 walk. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 strikeouts. So excellent start for Nick Pivetta, who is in line for the win. And let's see if Ryan Brazier can settle things here in the 9th. Got Odor, and then back to the top of the order with Mateo and Mullins. A 672 off of Odor's card. 672 is going to be a strikeout, so that's a good start. Get a K there. Just gonna, if these are darker, it's a little bit easier to see, maybe. All right, back to the top of the order with Jorge Mateo. Mateo, the shortstop in this one. He is 0 for 3. This is off of his card, a 727. 727 is going to be a strikeout. Just into a strikeout number. 2 down now, as Brazier's come in and struck out first 2 batters he sees. 799, that goes to Mullins. 799 is going to be a base knock, so 2-out hit for said Mullins. And he stands at first base. Orioles desperately need some offense here. Adley Rutschman is up. This is a 315 off of his card. 315 is going to be a fly ball. So Rutschman lifts this one to right field. 987 is to the right fielder. And that's going to be your ball game, as the right fielder is who? Tommy Pham. Pham puts that one away. And that will be it in the 9th inning. 5-0 is our score here. Boston takes this one over Baltimore. Let me pause real quick and I'll come back with the totals. All right, well, we're back with the totals. For Baltimore, it's no runs on 2 hits, no errors. For Boston, it's 5 runs on 9 hits and no errors. Boston, for the longest time, was getting guys on base with no problem, but just wasn't bringing them around. And then here in the 4-run 7th inning, you can see they finally got to the pitching. This is Baker. Baker giving up 4 runs after a good start from Bradish, and he could not pick up his teammate. Amazing start, great start for Pivetta. He's going to get the win. And Bradish is going to take the loss in that one. That's a tough loss. But he was down 1-0 whenever he exited the game. 8 innings for Pivetta, 1 hit, 1 walk, and 7 strikeouts. And basically had one inning where he did not strike out the leadoff man in the inning. So that was definitely super helpful in being able to get that first out of the inning. Big hits here for Verdugo, 2 out. A 1 out double. We had a sac fly from Trevor Story. Story was on base a couple times. Verdugo 2 for 4. Had an RBI single here from Devers. Devers 1 for 4. And then Bogarts 1, 2, 3 hits. Scored a run. Had an RBI double as well. And Kike Hernandez on base 3 times as well. So top of the order producing for Boston. And they pushed and pushed and pushed, and then they finally broke through in the end. So a good one here. 5-0 is our score at Fenway Park. This was the 2022 Orioles at the Red Sox. So Pivetta gets the win, Bradish the loss, Boston over Baltimore. This is using precision baseball is what I'm calling it. I don't know if that'll be the name that sticks or not, but you got to call it something. The idea is that how precise can I get as far as the numbers are concerned, and then after that everything sort of plays out itself on the field. So it's a true 50-50 game. So you either come off of the batter card or you come off the pitcher card. There is a little interaction. If it's a hit off of the pitcher card, then you go back, and basically we're just trying to figure out of all the hits, how many were singles, doubles, triples, and home runs for each batter, and then you just roll against that to see what kind of hit, because it's already a hit, right? We have all of our charts here. We didn't face any double play situations necessarily, so didn't have that. This is the player finder I'm referencing. And then we have all of our base running, so stealing second, third, home, tagging up and taking extra bases. We have a fly ball chart, which just tells us on a fly ball to the outfield, what do you do with the runners that are on base? You can see our base situations here. So runner at first and second, third, first and third, second, third, and then bases loaded. And then if it's green, you have to go, and you have to challenge the arm. We faced that with the sac fly here. J.D. Martinez was sent from third by the third base coach, and he made it in, so to his credit. But you either have to go, or yellow is just sort of the gamer's decision. You can go or not. It depends on what you want to do. And then red is an automatic hold, so you do not go. So you can see, there's a little bit more running to third base, or in right field and center field. In left field, maybe you're challenging more over here with runners at third base, and all of them you're challenging more with runners at third base. But left field, you're generally not going to be moving up. Center field and right field, you're generally not going to be moving up the runner from first to second. So not a lot of opportunities there, but typically center fielders have weaker arms, so that does make sense to have one where you have to challenge. And then we also have a line drives chart, and the line drives are meted out for all the players. So you can see here, and same thing here when it's a line drive out to the outfield. Yellow is the gamer's decision, red means you stay, and then green means you have to challenge the outfielder. For the infielders, it's a little bit different on a line drive. You have a double play check, or you have an automatic double play with the green, or you have just they catch the line drive and no other play after that. But if it's yellow, you do a double play check on the lead runner to see if you get the lead runner. And if it's green, it's just an automatic double play. So like a catch and throw, on the lead runner. So try to think through those things a little bit. And the last chart that we have is the ground balls chart. And this is for normal depth. I'm working on an infield in as well that has just these last 3 columns with the runner at third base. But basically, this has actually been graded out for 2D6s, 2D10s, or 3D10s. This game uses 3d10s, but the idea is you could use this sheet for anything. I mean, the same thing here. You could use these for any game, sort of as a bolt-on addition to any game. Maybe you have a basic game that you want to play with that doesn't have like super advanced fielding or anything like that, and you want to add a little bit more depth to the game, you can do that. So these are all equivalents. So if you roll the 2d6s and you get a 2, that's equivalent to a 2 or a 3 with 2d10s, or a 1 to 30 with 3d10s. It's not exactly the same number, but it is equivalent enough. And then you would just read through here with your base out situations. So you roll down this side with your 3d10s, and then you check what is the base runner situation, and then you just cross-reference those, and it tells you what to do. We have a few sort of a key down here on the back side. You can see, you know, for ground balls to each of the different position players, there's different types of things you could do. A lot of double play opportunities, either straight up double plays, or if you see a question mark, that means to check the double play. There's some all safes on here where it's just an infield hit, but that comes up very rarely, so 0.003% of the time that would come up. And we have some other interesting plays, especially on this front side: shortstop, second, and third. But also the first baseman and the third baseman have some, you know, there's some interesting things that they can do as well. So just trying to think through all of those situations that you would run into and cover as many as I can without it being like a super rare play, but just thinking about what doesn't happen very often, but it happens often enough that you wouldn't necessarily call. You know, you have runners at first and second. There's a little tapper in front of the plate. Catcher throws it to third for the for the force out. That's not necessarily a rare play. It doesn't happen a lot, but in a particular situation, you wouldn't say, "Oh wow, I've never, you know, I haven't seen that in 10 years." So it's just something that happens not very often, but wouldn't necessarily be considered a rare play. So it doesn't happen very often in the game, but it is there on this chart. And again, you can use that. All of these charts here have been, even the stealing and stuff like that, they've all been graded out for the 2d6s and 2d10s as well. So you could use this entire fielding system with a different game if you wanted to. And it fits, you know, hand in glove with this game, obviously, because then you know, you're just determining what to do, especially some of these things here. You know, you're determining what to do based off of the player's ratings. So we have a few different columns and ratings there. So hopefully you enjoy the game. If you haven't liked and subscribed to this channel, this is the new Clark and Addison Gaming Company channel, and this is where all of everything that we produce from now on is just going to be sort of laser focused to this channel. We're not going to be posting to the On Base channel or Advanced Stats Football or anything like that anymore. It's all going to live and reside here. So this will be the place if you want to see my games, or you want to see what I'm working on, or any game news that comes out, or any demos or things like that that we're working on. So please like and subscribe if you want to follow what we're doing. Trying to do something a little bit different, maybe, in the tabletop gaming industry, and maybe it'll feel familiar to you, but there are definitely some different elements that we're bringing in that are kind of sabermetrically focused typically, and a little bit of detail. So all of these numbers here for defense and base running, we have hard hit rates and barrels and things like that that are going to come into play with a more advanced fielding system in the future. I'm kind of taking this game slowly and just allowing it to work itself out. I'm not in a super big hurry to finish it, because I think it's going to be maybe a more full game than some others that I've done. So I'm very excited about it. I like the results that are coming out. Get some really interesting games. Sometimes it's 9-5, sometimes it's 11-12, sometimes it's 1-0. So getting some very interesting outcomes in games based on who's pitching and what offenses are playing. So really excited about the future of this game. And if you want to try out the game, I'll send you a couple teams. I have maybe 5 or 6 that are fully graded out. So I think I'm down to, no, more than that. I'm down past Houston. So, alphabetical order down to Houston, at least. Actually, down to past Kansas City. So maybe I'm about halfway through the 2022 season. So if you like any of the teams or want any of the teams to try out from the top half of the major leagues in terms of in alphabetical order, just send me an email. The email address, or you can send send an email. That'll be easier. It's Clark and Addison Gaming at gmail.com. Clark and Addison, so AND and Addison, Clark and Addison Gaming at gmail.com. And you can send an email, and I'll email you a couple teams and the charts, and you can try out the game yourself. This is sort of ground floor at this point of this game, and maybe there's some suggestions that you have that will make things better, or maybe just get excited about the game. All right, I think that's it from here. Like and subscribe if you want to, and you'll stay updated to all the things that we're doing as far as new game creation and new things that we're doing here in different sports. That's it for me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.